Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahabushai, Bahasham, Barakahak Barakatum. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahabushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. This is the brother Ra'aya coming at you with another lesson. And I'm going to start it off in Revelation chapter 13, verse 16, which really needs no introduction. But, these are the times we are quickly coming into in the year 2026. And he causeth all, that he, being the elite rulers of the planet right now, who are of the nation of Esau, Edom, or these so-called white people as they're known as, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands or in their foreheads. And this, of course, is the mark of the BEAST, which is the micro C-hip implant. And these elites, like the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, whatever, hey, they're moving quickly towards a digital society, a cashless society, where you will be in on a digital grid in a digital panopticon, to where they want all of your purchases, movements, actions, and hey, even your thoughts monitored. And these C-hips are going to be a means to achieve that. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the BEAST, or the number of his name. And when this C-hip is, after its rollout and mandatory implementation, you won't be able to buy or sell, get a job, travel abroad, or do anything in society without it. Think about the social credit score over in China. You say particular things against the government, you make particular purchases or whatever, your score goes down and you're not able to access certain jobs, get certain homes or apartments, hey, even get on public transportation. And other people that are around you, hey, their score goes down because you have a low score. But opened up the video with these verses to preface a couple of articles to show, we're getting nearer and nearer to the rollout and eventual mandatory implementation of this mark. But the first article I'll be going to is on businessinsider.com. So, a mainstream, reputable, news site. Elon Musk plans high volume production of Neuralink brain C-hips and says he wants to automate the surgical procedure. And remember what it said about the mark in Revelation 13, verse 16, in their right hand or in their foreheads. Elon Musk is planning to ramp up production of his Neuralink brain C-hips in 2026. Neuralink develops brain C-hip implants designed to help people with paralysis or neurological disorders. Musk said the procedure to implant the devices will almost entirely be automated in a post on X. Elon Musk says he's planning to ramp up production of his Neuralink brain C-hips in 2026. And, Apostle Tahar has deemed 2026 the year of the apostates, the sellouts and the reprobates, which, as this C-hip and this digital society and these digital currencies become much more prevalent and mainstream, you're going to see that a lot of these teachers in quotes in these other camps, were sellouts, were apostates, because everything they said went contrary to what the actual scriptures, prophecy says, which has been being preached correctly over here at GMS or Great Millstone. In 2026, and will automate the procedure to implant them into humans. Neuralink will start high-volume production of brain-computer interface devices this year, said Musk in a Tuesday X post. The startup, co-founded by Musk in 2016, is developing technology that enables people to control computers using an implanted micro C-hip. The initial focus is on helping patients with severe neurological conditions such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's, paralysis, or sight impairment to communicate and regain independence. And that's going to be a major way that this devil is going to, get the majority of people to be open to accepting these devices. Look at how much of a benefit it is to society. It allows the blind to see, the deaf to hear, and to an extent, those with some form of paralysis to be able to move regularly again. Hey, these pseudo miracles to show himself as the Most High and sit in the seat of the Most High, as it says in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. But back in Revelation 13, I'm going to jump up to verse 13. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Think about those 2 atomic bombs dropped on Nagasaki and Hiroshima during World War II. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, in the sight of this system. Those iron toes mixed with miry clay in Daniel chapter 2, the reincarnated Roman Empire, this NATO EU system that the U.S. is a part of and at the head of. And in a previous video I did dealing with, the mark of the BEAST, I was reading from an article on Washington, the government's, .gov or .org's website, saying that the U.S. looks to lead the world in 6G rollout. And also 6G was going to be, heavily tied into implantable devices. And he deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. And, what these C-hips are purported to be able to do are going to be some of these miracles Esau's going to use to deceive the people into further accepting it, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. Speaking of the ancient pagan Edomite Roman Empire, which, fell, Esau falling out of power back then, but then bringing Rome back into the earth with the Renaissance or the rebirth, that so-called Age of Enlightenment, back in the late 1300s going forward. And that image is the political, military, and financial aspects of this beast system, which that micro C-hip implant is going to be a major aspect of. And as it said, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image, copy after the beast. And you see all these different countries moving in this direction of digital currencies, digital societies, implantable devices, 6G, you name it. But Musk has also said that Neuralink's C-hips could be used to meld consciousness with artificial intelligence. That fifth industrial revolution, transhumanism, merging man with machine. The Neuralink C-hip is about the size of a coin. From this C-hip, an array of thin threads, each roughly 20 times thinner than a human hair, fan out into the patient's brain. Inserting the device has previously required a human surgeon to remove a portion of the individual's skull before a robotic arm takes over to insert the C-hip. And when we go back to MARK, of course, it's Charagma, which is G5480, which is what? A stamp and imprinted mark, the physical C-hip. But when we go to the root word, it's G5482, Charax, which says what? To sharpen to a point, akin through the idea of scratching. So the Charax would be the syringe or whatever implement that is used to get that C-hip into somebody through the idea of what? Scratching or cutting into your skin, which, as they just said, originally a surgeon would scratch a portion of an individual's skull before a robotic arm inserted the C-hip. But now, they're talking about automating it, so there's no need for a physical person to do it. But that's it with this article. But hey, every morning when I wake up, I pray to Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that, the rollout and mandatory implementation of the C-hip comes as quickly as possible. And it seems like just with every day, some new information comes out with the C-hip in this digital society. So to you sincere Akim and Akwat out there, hey, keep throwing up those prayers for the C-hip to roll out and the destruction of Babylon the Great, or America. Our prayers are being heard, and Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is hastening the times. This is 2nd Esdras in the Apocrypha, chapter 2, verse 13. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. And hey, the men of the Lord and, the rest of the elect are diligently watching, for these signs to come to pass, and the prophets go out and preach it. And, with the prayers and the preaching going up, hey, these days are being made few unto us and shortened. This is in, what was it? Slovakia. Of course, it's going to be stupid now. All right, this is Ecclesiasticus of Sirach 35 and 17. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, and till it come nigh, he will not be comforted. Hey, constantly praying without ceasing, so that these days may be shortened and that they may be few, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. We continue to throw up these prayers so Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai can hasten in bringing about these prophecies, and we can see that these things are no longer tarrying but quickly coming to pass, as it says in Habakkuk chapter 2. For the Lord will not be slack, neither will the mighty be patient toward them, till he have smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous. We pray for the downfall of Esau, Babylon the Great, America, and these heathens. And we can see that in, the West, especially in America, Esau's grip on power is breaking morally, militarily, and financially. That scepter is about to be taken out of his hand. And when he finally, fully rolls out and mandatorily implements this C-hip to where you won't be able to buy or sell or do anything in society without it, that's just going to hasten things that much more quickly to bring about his downfall and destruction. Verse 19, till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy. And hey, we are rejoicing seeing that these things are quickly hastening to their fulfillment. This is Matthew 24, verse 22. And except those days should be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved. Because look at the society we're coming into. A poisoned environment, being put onto 15-minute cities where you're going to be eating bugs, having only 3 pairs of clothing for a year, having carbon credits to where you can't travel freely on car, plane, or train. And then what? This devil wanting to put C-hips in you so that he can know all your purchases and, hey, to know all your thoughts as well. thought crime, like it says in 1984 or, Minority Report. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. And, I believe in this past July or August, Esau's own scientists recorded the shortest day in human history. And, their reasoning is that the earth is speeding up, shortening the times. But we know through biblical prophecy that Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is shortening these days for the elect's sake. And as we read in 2nd Esdras chapter 2 and Sirach 35, the prayers of, the faithful, the elect, the saints are going up into the heavens. And Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is hastening these things for their sakes. But now I'm going to close it out with an article from the KaufmanChronicle.com. Marjorie Taylor Greene warns Americans will comply or die over digital ID and CBDC threat. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene sharply reacted this week to evolving federal crypto policy, warning that digital identity and currency changes could force Americans into a stark choice: comply or die. And when this micro C-HIP implant is mandatorily implemented, that's going to be the options you people, as well as the faithful elect, are going to have to face. Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast, which that C-HIP is going to be a major component of, should be killed. Being killed out of this society, metaphorically, to where you won't be able to buy or sell or do anything in it. And people being faced with actually being put to death for not receiving this C-HIP, which that's going to be the lot for some of the elect. This is Revelation chapter 20, verse 4. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them who were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh and for the word of the Most High, the martyrs, the witnesses, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. The first fruits, the elect, being at the beginning of the first 1,000 years of the kingdom of heaven being built up. So, what she said lines up with prophecy. Greene's comments came in response to a year-end policy op-ed shared by Representative Warren Davidson of Ohio, outlining concerns about the U.S. stablecoin framework and digital currency trends. And I believe it was in Utah just recently that they're pushing for digital IDs in different aspects of that state's infrastructure. Davidson said flat or declining crypto markets and regulatory shifts, including the 2025 Genius Axis stablecoin framework, have eroded the industry's original disintermediation use case. He argued that an account-based system favored by banks and new federal rules could lead to permissioned digital money tied to digital IDs that they may neither buy nor sell, a cosmetic illusion of freedom designed to enable more surveillance, coercion, and control. You think you want to run a tax revolt? If the government puts digital ID and CBDC and controls your keys, you won't be able to refuse to pay your taxes. You'll only be able to comply or die, Greene wrote. Analysts say debate over CBDCs and identity-linked money is likely to intensify in 2026 as regulators and lawmakers grapple with how to balance innovation, oversight, and civil liberties. Greene's warning is the latest flashpoint in that broader fight. And the older brother Amawan Gabar of the New York camp has been saying, 2026 is looking to be a digital year as well, which is looking to be the case, more and more, as we get into this year. But that's it with this video. With this video, I hope you sincere, Akim and Akwath were edified. Just keep strong. Hey, we can clearly see we are almost out of this final wicked captivity of the heathen nations, chiefly of the Edomites. And as always, I'm going to say Abad Babol, Kwam Yasharallah, and until next time, Shalom.